Men. That seems to be the thing. The topic now is what's happening with men, and I want to talk to you about it. Now, many people have had situations where, because of separation, you're kind of left to guess what's happening. What do the men experience? But in this video, I want to talk to you not just about men, who we call the DM, the divine masculine, but also teenagers, young boys. What do they experience? Because in many ways, what you've already started is rippling through the collective. And I mean the collective of the human family, not just the twin flame collective, which is actually a very small percentage of people. Now, what about this? Men and teens on the twin flame journey, because like it or not, your children, your nephews, your cousins, your kids, they're what I call the baby twin flames. They too will go through things. Many times it is very confusing as a parent, very confusing as a teacher. Ranges. Now, for adult men, they're going to be going through quite a lot, and it's already started. And when I talk to men, one of the things that I do want to share is that they are deep, may seem. They're very, very cognizant of their feelings. They may not know how to express it, but they are aware of things that they're going through. In many ways, the men on this journey tend to be a lot more intuitive in a flash than the women tend to be. And we like to say, like, well, they're up in their head, they're up in their ego, or their ego made them do this or that. Yeah, because they've been taught to do those things. So how do you take the lover out from under all of the layers and behind all of the masks? You have to do this in a way that is not a conversation. So I'm going to talk to you about a few of those things too. The first thing we're doing is the feelings that they have, feelings that come up, which of, and that it's incumbent on you to get rid of. Those kind of things can play ping pong. Feelings, moods. You have a responsibility to get yourself up out of any funk that you're ever in, because the only person you're ever going to be able to affect besides yourself is your twin flame. And that's some sort of a fallacy out there, like an urban legend that people say, well, I don't have to do this. I've decided not to. You can be on the next wave of people, or you can continue doing this and be wise and get with it of what you've already started, whether you started that 6 months ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Don't give up, change it up. Change it up to the ways that are actually inclusive of your new light body integrations. Because as much as people say about, woo, this download, got these downloads, I had a whole weekend of downloads. It's no good unless you can open up the package. It's like someone delivering to you from Amazon. Unless you open up the package, you don't know what's in there. And this is extremely important because it's very new, which surprised me. And that is why I am a teacher of this. I have been doing this for even longer than 15 years, not even realizing that that's what I was doing. So, feelings of being irrational, which we call ego, because to the ego mind, it only knows two ways. It's either this way or that way. And repetitive. That's when we repeat history. This is when you see things in your household, or you may have seen it with your parents, or it might be with a boss. You're repeating a scene, and you could say, haven't I done this 10,000 times? And it's not even deja vu. Deja vu is the sense that you've actually been there in another place and you're seeing something again, somehow you know it. That deja vu is actually history repeating itself, but we don't think of it that way. Repeating things, repetitive and repetitive, those that repeat history, those that don't know how to change are doomed to repeat history, goes the quote. So repetitive things, the irrationalities of the mind. Men, males, whether they're young males, teenagers, whether they're young prepubescent boys or toddlers, they too can feel crazy during their ascent. What are some of the other things about the man side of things? Okay. It can be very jumbled, and you're going to feel a sense of overwhelm. And again, what are you going to do to help out both of you? You both don't want to feel overwhelmed, do you? So it's important to help with this. Sensitive. I'm going to just throw something out there. How many of you feel uncomfortable if a man cries? If a man cries in your presence, if a man is showing his emotion, if he finally feels like he's at that point where somehow he's just broken. We don't like to see that. We don't like to see people do that, because how history repeats on that is people become angered about their emotions. Then they want to do something. Then they want to go out and, pick a fight somewhere. And there's no more fighting. We have to get rid of this, and we have to be able to clear our own bodies out of these reactive behaviors. Are you someone who is experiencing a lot of anger? Are you someone who is experiencing a lot of fatigue? You need to come and see me about that, because that's just not going to go away on its own. That actually means something in the metaphysical sense of things, and it could mean something in the physical sense of things, which I do help you with. If it's something too physical, it's time to see someone about it. If it's something that is metaphysical, you need to see me, someone who is actually a master of the twin flame body, because this is very new. It's so new that there are new parts of you that only you can integrate. Archangel so-and-so can't do it for you. Your guides can't do it for you. It is something that goes actually to your higher self. And this is a whole new level of self-reliance. And there's two of you. So that self-reliance actually is like a double whammy. Sensitive, emotional. What if people are too emotional? Do you really want someone that's so hard? Are you trying to play the Cold War? Are you trying to withdraw? That's a lot of what people do. When this journey gets confusing and baffling, people withdraw and they say, I guess I wasn't a twin flame. I guess I really didn't know about this. Maybe it's not for me. And then their mind finds a convenient excuse which says, not everybody is. Oh, well, there goes. I guess I'm not. I'm just going to walk away. You're not going to be able to walk away from your body once you've started your ascension. You might be able to stave it off for maybe a few months, and it's going to hit the accelerator again. One of those times we're going to hit the accelerator is at the solstice. And you're going to find that it's incumbent on you to learn how to sleep in your new body. You're going to be removing and purging deep stuff. Some of that deep stuff is so disturbing that it gives people nightmares. That's another thing that men go through. Men tend to view the deepest, most brutal nightmares between what exists between the couple. So females tend to think that they get the short end of the stick. Men just aren't talking about it too much. They tend to suck it up. They tend to take it, or take it like a man. And you don't really want someone who's become so hardened or callous that they have to take it. That is very much a trait of the magnetic masculine until there's no more room to take anything else, including your love. That's why the purging. That's why you got to get these things out. Suicidal thoughts. Where do those come from? Well, they come from history, and they come from doing it, and they come from following through with it. Those things are part of what needs to be gotten rid of, because you're not going to be unified if those kind of things like suicidal tendencies are in place. You are not going to be unified. The parts of you that need to melt together will not hold that. They can't. That has to go first. Tendencies to be someone who is abusive, so that they hold a gun to themselves and say, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. And while it should be taken seriously, there's something to know about it. That's where some of this stuff comes from. When people feel that, and they will call it a suicidal thought or feeling, they may have no intention of going through on it. Your teens, your kids, they do this kind of stuff. The teens, what are they doing? They're cutting themselves. They're trying to create real pain where there's pain that they cannot identify. Where is it from? Where is it coming from? I know where it comes from. It comes from deep in their psyche. It comes from deep connections that I know how to pull the plug on that. That is what I do. I pull the shrapnel. I pull the plug. I help remove those emotional cords that tend to block people or make them feel like they're being held back. Are your emotions attached to? And who is attaching to your emotions? You may be giving them the best thrill ride ever when they stick you on their roller coaster. Are you tired of it? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? You don't need this anymore, right? But maybe you don't know what to do. This is what you do. You do twin flame body, you do you, but that means taking it to the next level. Okay, that means not going into old things. Those things gradually will no longer serve you. Fighting won't serve you. Picking a fight, having a conversation. Oh, he won't pick up the phone. That phone has become 1,000 pounds, right? What's so difficult about picking up the phone or responding? Your soul wants you to heart communicate, and that's not telepathy. That is not here. It's not limited to this little space. It's called heart communication so that you can heart communicate. You're required to know that. You're really not going to get far unless you're able to connect in a way where it is heart to heart, not head to head. Suicidal thoughts. Now, what about teenagers, teen boys? Especially in two segments of the age population, age 8 to 12, prepubescent, and puberty is going to cause a surge that will throw them off big time. You have to know how to feed them properly. You should know what supplements will help them. You should know what essences will help their burgeoning light body connections. You should not hit them on their chakras, which are trying to get unclogged and open. They too will go through things that are even more baffling than adults. They're not sitting around watching some of these videos, remember. If you're their parent or you are a guardian or you're a teacher, please know that things that the boys go through, it can be very, very baffling. I have answers about this. Ages 14 to 18, once they've started puberty and all the other stuff needs to kick in, care for them, okay? I'm going to say this right now because we can look and we can say, hey, statistically, who's causing trouble? Well, guess what? We need to start taking care of that stuff. We have to get away from calling the police for every little thing. The police don't want to be the judge and the jury either. We have to be able to identify what can we do right from home, what can you do from within your body, and stop some of the things that are old paradigm and start up with the new stuff, because the new inspirations and solutions will not come in unless you're integrating parts of your brand new light body that you share with your other half. Why do you have another half? It's to make love accountable. It's to double and amplify the love, but it also makes you accountable and responsible for each other. And that is how you're able to take responsibility for some of this stuff. So the way that I teach is I'm teaching you how to do some things to make that easy, to make it less of an intellectual effort and more of a heartfelt, heart guided from literally from 5D ways to do things. And where you actually have that positive ripple effect in your own home, with your own family, with your union, using your union connections, whether you're together in the house or you're not. That's another thing. Tensions in the house, tensions with other people, tensions with males. Okay. And how do a lot of males tend to, take care of that? Sexually. And what if you're tired of that? What if there's something inside you that's saying, there's got to be another way, or I'm losing the thread? Okay, because this, men and women, there's such a thing as, bed death. You don't feel anymore. You don't feel like it anymore. What about this twin flame thing? Okay. And this is especially a time for men who are striving to become the divine masculine that they are. Not the divine masculine that people say, oh, that's a divine masculine, and they're sliding around and they're doing this and they're screwing that and they're cheating here and cheating there. And, those are not divine masculine behaviors. That is not exemplary of what is actually divine masculine. Divine masculine is, first here, it is mature, it is solution-based. It's the divine masculine isn't interested in pointing fingers and blaming and shaming and withholding and withdrawing. The divine masculine actually lets you know that we're going to get this done. I can be relied on. Okay. Now, for men, this is a special message for you. You're done holding up the world. Don't try to overdo or overextend. This is a special time for you from now until the solstice so that you can focus on some integration too. You're going to find that the journey becomes very odd for you. You can feel physical sensations, small headaches, small pressures, gut aches, your stomach hurts, your stomach lurches. There is a reason for that. Your electric masculine energy has to be paid attention to. And if you are having physical ascension symptoms, please come to me. I know how to help you with that. I have had many recollections of being in a male body, but not only that, because of who I am a prototyper and I know some of the things that are experienced. Not only that, when I work with people, I feel it. I am a sympath, not an empath. What that means is I'm able to sympathetically, which is deeper and higher, feel things and get it moving and get it gone. I don't sit there in pain for days after meeting with people. It gets gone. And I give you instructions on what to do. So if you have, a couple and trying to make him into something he's not, look, he's wearing, underneath is the warrior, and he doesn't know how to turn it off. He just doesn't. He's not even sure if he should, because he's a man amongst men. Men are out gunning for each other sometimes. They bait each other. There's rivalries. She doesn't understand that sometimes. She doesn't understand when he comes home what he's up against, quote, out there. Okay. And she's like, hey, how are things? Fine. Why are you always just telling me one word? You might as well just say it's crap. That's another 4-letter word. Well, you don't have to worry about it. Why aren't you letting me in? Why do I have to guess? I just need to, I'm just going to go be by myself. Well, okay, well, I'm over here if you want to talk about it. And she wants to talk about it and he doesn't. Okay, then something else comes up later and she, he's like, I talked to you about this, but you just don't seem to get it. Maybe I'll just never get it. Did that ever occur to you? I just don't know why you keep harping about it. I'm going to walk away. Wait, where are you going? And he grabs her and she says, why are you grabbing me? Because you need to stand here and listen to me. You're not my father. Why are you trying to be like my father now? You're like bringing up all of my childhood stuff. Now it's really on. Now take your hands off of me. And they're off and running to the races, and that tension is there, and they're both going to put up a wall of anger. And the wall of anger is worse than the wall of shame, because the wall of anger means they can't feel the heart, they can't even feel themselves sometimes. How do you get that gone? I know how to get it gone, and it is a process, because that anger just didn't start now. And the warrior that's inside him is, still trying to adjust to becoming the divine masculine. He can set down all his weaponry and his shields and sword and take on the new 5D shield, but he doesn't even know it. She doesn't even know it. Do you know it? Do you know that you are expected to be the only one who can integrate your 5D high heart shield for your body, and your twin has to do that too? So it's time to join, it's time to participate, time to set aside some of the things that are just mental and start engaging your body. I highly recommend my session that is called the Psyche Body Session for these energies, and Angelic Body in Transition. Are you someone who likes to help people? Have you worked with me, and are you interested in helping people? I have a Twin Flame Body Practitioner course starting you at level 1 to help people. Hundreds of thousands of people, this is my guidance, hundreds of thousands of people will begin to awaken, okay? So first batches of people got awakened. You've been waiting for whatever it is, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. For this point, some of you were awakened a little bit ahead of time, like an advanced scout. Feel it out, see what's what, learn a little bit, learn about purge. Okay, how would you like to take that to the next step and really learn how to do this, including the energetic body work? Because that is the direction that this is going. This is not going where it's going to be very static and you sit there like this. You can't do certain things in the same old ways. Certain things just will not work because they are insufficient for the scope of two people together with two bodies that have to connect. And so it is a specialty, and I am teaching it. So if you are interested, look for the link below. Look for my free informational webinar. So I will have a free webinar on it, and you can look for the link. Meanwhile, find out more through my pre-recorded webinars and have a session. So thanks so much for watching. This energy is going to continue because it is very similar to a huge, giant, 100,000 years closing up within this much time. You need to know, you need to learn. You can't just base it on, watching videos. You have to engage your light body. And I do have quite a bit of material that very lovingly leads you through and guides you. Okay? So thanks so much for watching. If you have questions, reach out to me. You can email me at twinflamesmerge@gmail.com or twinflamebody.com. Either one, find me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.